We are Mike and Dana Monaco. Are you guys having fun tonight? Man, I love team meeting. I love being around you guys. I'm so excited to be here. And
now we get Bowler.
I get excited. Yeah, we got Bowler in the house. Absolutely. And the Bowler Squad, the Bowler Express, right? And all their leaders. And it was exciting to hear from new platinums today, right? You know, our goal is to continue to inspire you, educate you, but help you to understand the business. Help you to understand how we connect to the Amway Corporation to sell their amazing products and how we build our business network of people that are also going to do the same thing. It's a simple business. We work with some of the greatest brands and the greatest company that I've ever seen that manufactures some of the greatest brands that I've ever used in my life and that we've ever sold. And so when you're building a team, there's a culture, right, that starts to develop, whether you like it or not, right? There's a culture that starts to develop based off of the personalities of the people on that team, based off of the temperaments of the people on that team, based off of what people focus on, how people act, right? And Dana and I want to talk to you guys about when we started on this business team, when I started on this business team 20 years ago, how did I contribute to the culture? And I'm going to have Dana talk to you a little bit also about how she contributed to the culture. But I started a business 20 years ago. I was 23 years old. I was single. This was before I met Dana, right? And I had built the business as a single IBO. And then I met this beautiful woman on the beach, right? Vinny and Dana had a beach party. They invited Charlie and Ann Durso, and Charlie and Ann Durso brought their daughter. And I was like, who is that? Ow. You know what I'm saying? And so we dated for 3.5 months, and I proposed to her because I figured I knew her parents. I knew their integrity. I knew how they lived. I knew everything about their lives from being in the business, right? From understanding who they were. So I was like, she's beautiful. If she's like her parents, I'm like, this is going to work out if she's not crazy.
I didn't let him see crazy until the next year, you know? You got to put a ring on it first. So, you know, coming into the culture that he created, it was something that I had to recognize and respect, right? Because it was already established. And so even coming into this culture, right, you feel the vibe in the room. It's because of the best practices that Brian has talked about, you know, the culture that Vinny and Dana have created and the example that they've set. We respect what they've put in place and what's already been established. So coming onto his team, I might not have known why things were done at that time, but I didn't question in the sense of, I have a better way, right? I adapted to the culture of the team and recognized, hey, I might not understand everything, but I do respect it. And it might have been down to like the very little detail of how things were done. And trust me, there were details of how things were done, if you know Michael. But I respected that too. And I mastered the way that it was done first before I added my own little touch onto things. So I recognized too, like when I got into the business and came around the team and I would see how Michael ran his organization, I recognized that he was like a mini Vinny and duplicated exactly to the T how Vinny was with how he treated people, with how he served people, with sometimes even the things that he said and did for people. And I realized that he was just really good at emulating what Vinny has already established. And then it creates that ripple effect, right? And that's how we can keep the culture pure, is by duplicating what's been done already, right? Not trying to reinvent something or trying to figure it out. So I first mastered what I saw being done, and then I added my own touch onto it, right? And I recognized that was the example that you set for me, so I thank you. But recognize coming into this room, you have a coach, you have someone that has already opened a door for you, and they've already set that example for you. As long as they're setting the right example, right? We recognize who to follow, and that's your leadership. That's a Brian and Sia, that's a Dennis and Danielle, a Dan and Brenda, a Vinny and Dana, and all the other leaders. I was very thankful to have that example emulated for me, but I also recognized that I needed to just respect that. Right? And so I found that really easy, but it's amazing to hear the new Platinum speak and talk about the things that they have done to get to the point where they're at. And a lot of it has to do with what we're going to share today in creating the culture. Because I realized that we weren't always doing the right things all at the right time, but it's what has brought us along our journey. So if my attitude was affecting something, he had no problem telling me to stay home, because it was going to affect the culture of the organization. And no one person is more important than the bigger team. And that includes myself, right? And that includes us. So I think you have some really great points that I'd love for you to just kind of run through.
Yeah. So as you start to be educated about Amway and about what we do and how we utilize a corporation so that we could build our businesses and be effective in our businesses, sometimes you're like the first person that they see, right? Like, you ever go into a building or you go into a company, a corporation, and there's a receptionist, right? And that receptionist, maybe they're in a good mood, maybe they're in a bad mood, right? Maybe they're nasty, right? Maybe they're like the best, the most bubbly, like best people to like interact with. It makes you feel a certain way when you get to that corporation, depending on the receptionist's attitude.
Right.
It's the reception that you feel, right? Sometimes we're the receptionist in our business. We're the first attitude that people see, hear, know, understand when it comes to the culture of the organization. Look, our kids, we have a pediatrician, great doctor, right? One time we were at the pediatrician's office, and the doctor said, well, how come you didn't just call? And Dana goes, I couldn't get past the hyenas at the front desk. Because the front desk people are like, I don't even know what the adjective is. Fill in the blank. But it's hard to get past those people, right? And so you don't want to be that in your business, right? I never wanted to be that in my business. I wanted to give somebody a great reception and understanding from the beginning as to what we do in the culture of our team. So how did I add culture to the team that was existing? So number one, I wanted to be predictably positive and encouraging.
Right.
I realized that it wasn't my team, it was Vinny's team. And I wanted to be an asset to Vinny and his team. I wanted to walk through those doors and I wanted to be smiling and uplifting and shaking people's hands and encouraging and inspiring and motivating. And even when I was brand new, I was excited to be there, right? Sometimes people come through those doors and whatever they had going on before they got in those doors still shows on their face. And it's not sometimes the best situation, right? So I wanted to be predictably positive. How do you handle criticism or challenges from outside this room? You know, some of you have family members or friends that might criticize you, or they might give you a challenge. They might give you an obstacle. And some of us have very weak mindset. And that first obstacle, we let it defeat us. Well, I got news for you. Obstacles are going to come in life.
Yes.
And if you let every little obstacle defeat you as to what you want to accomplish in your life, I don't believe that you'll ever accomplish the things that you want to accomplish in life. We have to learn how to overcome the obstacles, because those people, right away, they're going to say, you're never going to be able to do it. And then when you're successful, as you grow in your business and you become successful, if you hit different levels in business, like a Nick and Emily, those same people that said, you'll never be able to, you know what they're going to say? I knew you could do it. I never doubted you. I knew it. But you got to get through the obstacles, the ups and downs to get to where they say, I knew you could do it. Number 2, I always wanted to speak the vision of the leaders that were running the meetings. When I came into Vinny's meeting, Vinny had a vision. Vinny was accomplishing things. There were people breaking as brand new platinums. There was an organization that was developing. We had a battle cry.
Woo.
Dana and I continue to speak the vision of the leaders, right? That is part of the culture. Number 3, I valued unity. I valued unity and being unified, and it was an attitude of, how can I help? Mm-hmm. It didn't matter who it was. When we were at an event, it didn't matter who it was. If it was Brian and Sia's team or Dennis and Danielle's team, it didn't matter to me. It was, how can I help? I'm going to be a shining light in the organization. How can I help? Right? Team. Vinny says it all the time. TEAM. What does it stand for? Together, everyone achieves more. When we work together, we achieve more. In a country fair years ago, there were 2 horses, Clydesdale horses. Clydesdale horses pull the most amount of weight. They're the biggest horse that there is. Both prize horses, first and second place, one pulled 4,000 pounds, the other one pulled 4,500 pounds. They said, well, what do you think would happen if we put them both together? It's 8,500 pounds, right? Nope. They pulled 13,000 pounds together. Because working together, we could accomplish more.
Yep.
Being unified also means having multiple relationships with multiple upline. I also believe it's your responsibility to have the relationship with multiple upline, not just one that you think is good enough. A lot of you have a relationship with Dana and I. That's not good enough. We want you to have a relationship with Vinny and Dana.
Yep.
Multiple upline. Why? Well, it's important for us that Vinny and Dana get to know who you are, get to know that you're up and coming on our team, up and coming leaders, and that they can correct anything that maybe we have said incorrectly. Do you know over the years, because we're human beings, we say things incorrectly? Can you believe we did that, hon?
Many times.
And we still do it to this day, right? But Vinny and Dana have way more wisdom than we do. Their business is not just bigger, but their life experiences are bigger. And because their business is bigger and they deal with thousands of people, aside from us dealing with hundreds of people, their worldly knowledge is greater than ours.
Yep.
And so sometimes there's challenges, there's things that happen, and we necessarily can't advise you the best. We want to send you to Vinny and Dana, but if I send you to Vinny and Dana, you don't have a relationship with Vinny and Dana, that's on you.
Right.
Right?
Well, and the perspective of Vinny and Dana have gotten us to where we are today. And so it would be foolish for us not to give someone else that perspective, right?
Absolutely. Unity is having an attitude of, I want to serve, not be served. Right? How could I make it better? How could I improve what it is existing? Right? Number 4, I believe this is a winning culture.
Yep.
And I believe in order to contribute to a winning culture, you have to be winning. I believe to contribute to a winning culture, you have to be winning. What does winning mean? Because that means something different for everybody.
Right.
I believe what it really means is progress. I believe you should be making progress on a monthly basis, on a yearly basis. Because sometimes businesses go up and down, right? Just look at the stock market. It goes up and down every single day. That's business,
Yep.
right? Our business does the same thing, goes up and down. Why? It goes up and down with your attitude. Doesn't your attitude go up and down? Right? So sometimes your business goes up and down. But a winning culture is your contribution to that winning culture is that you're winning, that you're getting coaching and that you're putting in effort. That you look around the room and you say, okay, who's putting in the most amount of effort? Can I match that effort? Or maybe I'm brand new. What effort can I put in as a brand new person? I love when I see brand new people that are up and coming, that are rising up, that are starting to succeed, that are doing well, that are listening, that are coaching, right? It's a winning, being able to contribute to a winning culture. Now, you have to keep doing what you've been doing. And you got to keep learning new skill sets because this is not the only skill set, right? So, I'm proud of you. Continue to do what you're doing. Number 5, I focused on self-development. I didn't focus on how other people can improve. I focused on how I could improve.
Right.
That's how I added value to a winning culture, is I became a winner. I didn't think I was a winner when I first got started, but I became a winner because I focused on self-improvement. What did I do? I read the books on the back table. The books on the approved book list, not a book that some Instagram influencer said, oh, this is going to be a great book. I could care less. What are the books that shaped Vinny and Dana Pappalardo? That's what I wanted to know. Those are the books that I wanted to read. I listened to podcasts every single day. I attended events. I communicated with Vinny every single day. The more I communicated with Vinny, here's what I realized. The more I thought like him. And the more I thought like him, the more I acted like him. And the more I acted like him, the better my results were. That was my experience. Because he was a wealth of knowledge. Number 6, I was committed to my goals. When I wrote my goals down, I was committed to my future. I was committed to my goals. Brian said it tonight. He said, think long term. I think it was Brian that said that. Think long term. Those that think short term usually are short term in the business, in my opinion. When you think long term, we know you're going to be around long term. And when you're around long term, you have a shot and a chance at making it up to this leadership section. If you're not long term, I don't believe you're going to have a shot at making it to this leadership section. That's my opinion. But if you think long term and you make long term decisions and you make good decisions that will affect you, not just a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. 10 years from now, looking back, you're going to thank your younger self for making the long-term decisions that you made now, 10 years from now. We don't just make money here. We've learned how to make a difference. And the reason why we make a difference is because who we chose to become. In our process of becoming successful through this opportunity, but we embraced the journey, all the ups and the downs, all the challenges, all the struggles. We learned how to make a big challenge, no big deal. And we learned how to make a small win, a big deal. The biggest challenges that we've had, no big deal. The smallest wins, all right, we encourage, uplift each other. And I'll end with this. It was the head coach of the Boston Celtics, Brad Stevens. I don't know if he's still the head coach. He might be. I don't follow sports like that. But he said, and I'm paraphrasing, he said, our culture isn't just our traditions. It's the people in our business that carry it on. God bless you guys.
This is a copyrighted program of The Collective, powered by Marker Man Productions.